Hey guys, George and I are going to review a game. He'll more than likely be asking questions, but he's so smart he might not have any. So I guess here we go. Okay. He said this was a short game, that he resigned early, but still we'll see what's going on here.
So one thing here is that often so if I play in the top right and then my opponent plays a 3-4 on that same side, I
Yeah,
often go cross for Seki because I like this idea of me playing a 4-4 and being able to easily approach that 3-4 stone.
yeah. So
Yeah,
you can now approach here comfortably. Yeah,
exactly. But the
and
problem
that's
I found is that then I end up, as we'll see in the game, having all these fourth line stones in a cross Fuseki, and it feels a bit off to me. So that becomes very clear later on, at least I think.
yeah, yeah. Well, the 4-4 can easily turn into other things, so it's not.
True.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all is fine. Yeah. Okay. And just for the heck of it, let's do this real quick. Um, no, let's do this. The fact that the A stone is black is extremely meaningful to the B stone. So now if white tries to fight, everything's in black's favor.
Yeah.
And if A is a white stone, then the B is struggling for survival. So really different. A
Sorry.
lot of
Sorry.
players don't quite catch this subtlety.
Sorry. 1 second, Lance.
Hi. Oh,
Are you off?
Dobby, okay.
Okay. Bye
Are
bye.
you here tomorrow morning?
I think so. Yes.
Because I'm not here, and he is coming to do the
Okay.
last things.
That's fine.
No problem?
Okay. See ya.
Okay.
Bye bye. Sorry, Lance. We have
That's
So
okay.
I'm cat sitting at the
Gave me the
moment.
opportunity to get my back scratcher out
Okay. So
and
so
scratch my back. Now everyone knows that we're actually human beings.
yes,
Okay,
exactly. Okay, all good.
okay. So this is fine, according to Feng Yun. According to Mr. Yang, what the heck are you doing? So let's uh, clear that up. Okay, black plays a fourth line approach. Fourth line is for influence. Does this sound good to black? Yeah, it's got two 4-4s, all focused on influence. Playing for influence makes perfect sense. How about this? Oh, now you have influence and territory. Still makes sense. Okay. How about now? Oh, black plays for influence. Well, he only has one 4-4. It's it doesn't exactly make sense. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
So you're not set up for influence. Therefore, this simply makes more sense.
Mm.
Now, Feng Yun says, oh, play this one. The Josekis are easier. It's like, what's that about? What about right and wrong? She doesn't think that way. Mr. Yang, that's all there is. What's the principle? How should I play her? For her,
Mm.
oh, this one's easy. I'll just do this
Mm.
one.
Yeah.
So it is fine, but now you're getting a little funny on, you have to watch yourself, or else
Mm.
you're going to not get what you want.
Mm. I was thinking here that the avalanche might work well in this situation.
Yeah, I haven't looked at Avalanche in so many years. I spent years trying to master that thing, trying to put it together in my head, and now we don't use it. Oh, so glad. There's so many. Before AI, the Giuseppes, all strong players, had to learn these intensely complex long Giuseppes. Not anymore. Okay. Most pros prefer white hair.
Yeah, me too.
Why? Because black is making a moil. Well, first off, they say that's not a moil. A moil is a large potential area, not one part of a little corner. Secondly, how many invasion points? 3 invasion points in this tiny moil. So it's like, really? It's just not making sense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at some alternatives. First, these three black stones, we have to say they're heavy because we see 0 eyes, right?
Yeah.
So the idea of playing away is like, sorry, I'm on the wrong button. Just a second. These stones, I'm not saying they're going to die, but we see that they're heavy. You're with me on this?
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't really think about playing away. We could think about playing here. Because now, if white comes in, white's actually weaker than black is. Okay, but you still have 3 heavy stones that are going to get in trouble later. Okay, let's look at an alternative. So these are still all possible. Let's look at this one. Oh, we see 2 eyes already. Doesn't that look like 2 eyes? It's not 2 eyes, but look at that. That's some excellent eye shape. Now, we're very comfortable playing here. If white comes in, it's narrower and black's lighter. We could just walk away from here and be very happy. So this is generally considered 100%. And notice it's different from this. This is focused on the corner. This one is focused on defense and the corner and the bottom. And it's a very well-balanced move. This is considered 100%.
And it's also a 5-space extension, which Mr. Yang is very big on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, all that being said, they're all playable unless you're playing against God, otherwise known as AI. Okay. So I'm finding myself looking at this, going into, what would I do? Oh, because of this and there's that. Oh, just to reveal. Let's see what he played. Oh, yeah, 4th line again. Like you're really going to do influence up there? Your influence is all the way on the bottom. That's a long distance.
Okay. I felt like this was somewhat consistent, but yeah.
And
sure.
again, since you don't actually have an influential position, just a little tiny area, it's, again, is it playable? Well, yeah, but we're getting further and further away from comfortable, easy, straightforward, rational. I don't think there's a black loss. Well, that's not true. I think the game's over personally, but you have to be an awfully strong player to prove that. Okay, let's look at this move a little bit. I'm just going to put a black stone here just so we can talk about it. Now, I've done this with it before. If we cut this white stone in half along the K line, this is how I personally see it. I cut the stone in half, and I won't go into all the details of how I do that in my head. It's very specific, which is silly. But we cut it in half. We look at the left side of the stone. Absolutely perfect. Couldn't be better placed. We look at the right side of the stone. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm doing such wonderful things. So we say this white move looks pretty darn perfect. You with me so far?
Yep.
Okay. Now we put it here and we look. Left side of the stone, wonderful. Right side, what's that, 20%? The right. So the point of this is this black stone totally impacts the top and totally impacts the corner. And of course is points and practical and everything. So this is the move you're looking for here, I believe. Now I understand you're trying to get consistent, but since the board's broken up, you don't have that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, just for viewers, this move is safe and focuses on, I don't like white's wall getting anything. Well, there you go. He can't now. What? That's kind of narrow, and the corner's still open. So you have focused on white's area. Now you're focused on the top, and now you're focused on black's area. So it's all fine, but they're all just a little different. Okay. Curious what you did here. Yeah. Don't pinch. Now you have 2 weak stones,
Yeah.
and the one on the left is in white's area. It's horrible. Yeah, you can't do that. If you're going to pinch where you're not going to get hurt over there. It's like, oh, come on up. Everything's fine. It's hard for him to hurt the stone. That's possible. But the left is small. And for those who aren't all the way caught up, the A stone is low and settled, making the left small for white. So this move's a bit lacking. Okay. White plays here. We're not going to pinch because that's not a particularly big area, which means we're defending on the bottom. You answered as if you have a moil. But again, it's just a bunch of entry points in there, and that's all you have is the bottom. So when he comes in, you get almost nothing. So make it practical. Now there's less entry points, and those entry points are more difficult. And now you have cash instead of maybe, and never ending up with anything.
But presumably here, I guess, I mean, it's kind of too late to worry about it too much, but the K4 stone, I think the reason why I didn't play such a move is it doesn't feel like it's working very well with the left side of K4. Like for me, K4 is a very influential stone, and having that low settled F3 makes it, rather inefficient.
Did you say that your feeling was A might not be great because B is influential and now it's not, kind of thing?
Yeah.
So okay. We could say that, oh, we just closed our skirt. Isn't that exactly what this group wants?
True.
With me so far?
Yeah, yeah.
If we say that, then we have to get back to this. That means we have to treat the C stone differently, because C is kind of like another idea. As long as you treat C as another idea, then everything's fine. And that's the way to proceed.
Okay. Actually, so with I see that, but actually I have less of a desire to want to close the skirt from B. I think because it doesn't feel like a territorial position, like with M2 just being alive, for example, that invasion. For me, those stones ready out into the center because White can just come in there and live whenever he wants, pretty much.
Okay,
so that's why I'm
White
playing
on
all
the
my
bottom,
stones
it's
high.
influential. What are you going to do?
Yeah, no, I completely
It's like
agree, and I agree that but black's position isn't working well at all here. But
Yeah.
I'm just thinking locally, I don't feel like I have much of a desire to close that skirt at K4.
It is the practical move. Let's look at some things that might fit your idea better. For instance, since White's low and settled on the left, he shouldn't be focusing there. What if we force him to focus there? Hello. Oh, getting interesting. That's kind of exciting. Wherever you want this next stone. That's a very exciting position. Wow, baby.
Yeah.
Starting to like the black stones. Now I put an extra black stone on there, but this is specialty move since it touches a weak stone. But do we like White getting the left? Yeah, it's the smallest area. So you might like this better.
Yeah.
And you could play this way. Giving up much more of the corner, but getting much more of the outside. So there are things to do here that will continue your idea. The problem is white can still just come in and live. So it's not practical, but you might like it. White's tempted to play this way, and he can have you turn there. I mean, it's very possible. Okay. I love looking at positions. I get drunk on them.
So yeah, here I wasn't happy with my next move because I felt again it was inconsistent.
Right.
Now suddenly I'm playing territorially.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Time to go for your influence.
Yeah.
And you can even ignore this if you want. He can go this far. But you do have a very strong position if he does. So yeah, influence, there you go. There's your influence. And disrupting his left and yeah. This really, so practical, no influence. Influence, no practical.
Exactly.
Oh, just getting all mixed up. Yeah.
And here I've had my opponents play this move a few times against me lately. I always think that either D8, in this kind of position you'll play D8. Is this an okay move to play? With the space?
This is great for viewers to see. This is important stuff. Okay. Let's put it here. How far should that white stone go to be stable? There. We're all in agreement?
Yep.
And we agree this is too far. Because, hello, that white stone is so weak. Okay. So why do we see it all the time? Because the corner's open. That's why white can play a light position, focusing on center, top, left, and say, I don't care if you come in, I'll just pop in the corner. And even if black gets his full decision here, let's put this here, that white stone on top, still very light. And there's Aji. So it's all working out. You with me?
Yes.
Okay. So what if black plays here? Then if black comes in, white has no countermeasures. You're still with me? So black has closed the corner. Okay. White closes the corner. No more life in there. Uh-oh. White owes a move.
Yeah.
And we see this a lot with the next move there. Well, what if white just plays away? At your convenience, anytime you want, come on in. White is officially weak. What's white going to do? Well, let's start with defense. Really? Yeah, I really mean it. Really? Yeah, I really mean it. You're positive? Yeah, of course I mean it. I mean, that was easy. It's like done. So let's apply all this principle to the top. Where to go? Oh, here it is. So, is now the time? Well, first thing I would do is say, if I do nothing, how do I feel about that? Well, it's starting to look a little big, I guess, you know? Do I have something that's equal to that? I feel like I missed my opportunity. You with me?
Yep.
Okay. So one choice is, I just want you to fix. I want you to have those points you so desperately wanted because I love my position. I think that's probably best. I think white shouldn't have taken the left. It's not half as big as it looks, and it's still invadable. And black's getting everything he wants. It's getting harder and harder for white to come in here. So I think that's the answer. If you're just in the mood to fight, sure. But let's just look at it. So we just go here, no problem. And white's got to stop that. Well, this is looking better and better. Like, let's just assume white says fix. Sorry, I'm on the wrong button. There we go. Oh, white says I fix. Well, now you have to come back, because if he comes in now, it's easy and you're in trouble. And now white's the one with way more influence than you. That's not what black wants. This is the opposite of what black wants. But I took away all his points. Yeah, but like you said, you have an influential position. So I think this is the answer. You're being quiet. Is this all making sense?
No, it's making sense. Yeah.
Okay. I know I tend to go on and on.
That's
I
great.
get so embarrassed about it. I do. Because I just see all these details and all this characteristic, and I can't stop myself. Okay. So you play here. It's a big move. We do want to acknowledge that A is low and settled, and you've all seen me do this before. The triangles are small because of that. But black's 4/4 stone loves the right, so triangles are small, squares are big. So the right side's half and half. Well, what about the top left? Massive and massive. Now I'm going to enter your corner without any question. Oh, I guess I better save it. Thank you very much. Look at how big the top's getting. The right will not get that big.
Yeah.
But I think the top's bigger. Of course, your move is big and strong, and at least 90% seems to me. Yep. I'm curious what your next move is. Sure seems to be 3 options. I would go with option 4, but these are the ones that certainly come to mind. Any ideas on option 4?
No. Perhaps leaning on the left. Like say.
Oh, not a bad idea.
D7 or something.
Like D?
Or yeah, around there.
Hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, that's actually because there's a hole there, isn't there? So we could lean on that. Come
possibly.
back.
I'm thinking of just D.
Okay.
Walk away.
Yeah,
because what are you going to get here? You're not going to kill. You're going to end up with, I don't know, 10, 15 points, and white will be alive. It's like, that's so dissatisfying. I would want to give this. It's so dissatisfying. Like, well, am I in trouble? No. Walk away. D's huge, especially with your E stone on the board. D's just skyrocketing in size.
Yeah, and also if I Tanuki, that really puts the C3 stone to work, right? Because that's a very stable stone.
Yeah,
so that helps with the stability of that group.
Your stones start working.
Yeah.
Now, this F group, when I see the F group, it's like, well, clearly, and I'm talking about the 4 stones there, 3 and 1, the 4 stones. I really don't want points here. I'm looking for, you can't hurt me, and I have influence. So if we walk away, what happens? He can't kill you, and you have influence. They're exactly what they want to be. They don't say, oh, I want that little area on the bottom. They don't say that. George says that. Lance says that. We get in the way of the stone. So it's hard. You try to get out of the way, look at the board. Very hard thing to do. Here, yeah, makes sense. Especially if you're looking forward to A. This makes sense. Yep.
And here I think I make a mistake.
Yeah, you have a chance of killing this group. He didn't play right.
Just felt really wrong from my part.
So now you're going to kill part of it.
Yeah.
and this is totally white's right. So we either submit to that, which works sort of, or we say, no, let's keep going. Can white go one more? Yeah. Ooh. Or even white does not have two eyes. And we have a fight. Seems reasonable.
Okay.
A
So,
lot
so,
of interesting things.
so you think that attach was okay? Maybe the Kasuma's better.
That.
Yeah.
It certainly looks like the only move. I think the problem is black's position's just awkward.
Mm.
He's getting the outside, but white's already there. It's difficult.
Yeah. Or
So
L3, I guess, is quite an aggressive move. Instead of
for who?
for black instead of L2.
Yeah. Now we get to see if white knows how to live. It looks
Yeah.
like it's enough to
Yeah, yeah, it
just
does.
live.
Yeah.
Although you now have Sente.
Yeah.
Perfectly reasonable. Better than the awkward one I showed a minute ago with everyone running.
Mm.
Now this move makes sense.
So you might not be happy with me here because I didn't run with those 3 stones. Um, but my feeling again was that I'm very heavy. I'm white strong on both sides. So that was my reasoning for not running with A, but perhaps that was a mistake.
Yeah. I agree B is weak because he can always connect under at D. If you stop that, he's out. So he's basically alive.
Mm.
So the A stones have no meaning other than using up that space. And it's really hard for white to surround the space. So yeah, walk away.
Mm.
Okay. They've just lost their meaning. So you played the only move, yeah. If he wasn't connected and it's your move, oh, we're saving those stones.
Mm.
I mean, without question, we could end up killing this thing. But take that off, he can get out, he can connect under, you're weak.
Mm.
Yeah, nothing. Good, we're here. Does black have the right to fight here? First, let's look at, he plays on this side. Let's look at the ladders. Well, I guess he has to play here. So you're just alive. Okay. So he plays on this side. Mount seems necessary.
So I was looking to both ladders and I didn't see his move at E8. I thought, oh, both ladders work well for me. I'm strong, therefore I can fight. But then after the E8 move, I did really had struggled to know how to proceed.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the pattern. Atari out. White stops the ladder. You come across. He fixes. That's the pattern. And on this board, you may well want to connect up. At which point you have nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
How sad. White got everything on the left.
Mm.
You end up with nothing. Yeah. So this all gets back to the beginning where you went for influence, but not really.
Mm.
And it just never worked out. Okay, honey.
Was there not a way though to, because I have all this strength and I want to fight presumably, right? Because I'm strong there. I want to play aggressively, and I thought I did, but it didn't work out.
Right.
Maybe cutting
So
at
I
D7.
think your strength is
Just living.
this white blackstone on the left. It looks like I might die. Oh, then let's fight because I'm strong on the outside. No, you might die. It's So let's look at the other idea. Let's live. Is our strength being used? He just built a wall, which means nothing. We're taking away all his points in Sente. And we laugh in his face because we're so strong. That's using your wall.
Mm.
Your wall produced the... How many points on the left? White would have got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 20, and you got 10. That's 30 points your wall produced in Sente.
Mm.
Wow! That sounds good. And the fight, it's just not working. Yeah. And the board's pretty awkward here. Still, this is strange things about Go. Like, here we are in a position we have no idea what to do. What do? You just take your best shot. That's all you can do. And you produced a 3-key move, which is darn good. Stronger player will produce a stronger move. It's like you just do what you can, but it's hard. I don't know, I'm rambling, but oh, really?
So here I feel like I have another chance in the game when he came in here.
Yes.
I don't think I really executed it very well, but I felt like, okay, now I have a chance.
Yes. Okay. We remember that A is low and settled, making the right small. So the local move would be here, saying I'm not looking for the right, I'm looking for the center. Then you could come down and get the full right. And you're also about to save your stones. So that's the move you're looking for here.
Yeah.
But since the right is not particularly big, we might want to start here instead because the top is big. But once this is here, white should say, yes, please take that area. Please take it.
Yeah.
And I'll take your 3 stones on a large scale. That's what white should do. Here, and now, yeah, you're back in the game. Nearly. Could be, yeah. 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 Let's use the list on this one. As a matter of fact, you use the list on this one. Walk me through it step by step.
This is so confronting always. Okay, I'll do my best. Okay, so how many weak groups or important stones do I have? Well, I mean I played away because I had Sente, meaning all my groups are fine. But I have an important stone, clearly. And let me just take control.
So I think you said 1.
Yes, 1. Exactly, 1. Yeah, so it's not a group, but it's an important stone because it keeps white weak in a valuable area.
Okay, next. What do you do next?
So how many weak groups or important stones does my opponent have?
No.
Sorry, no, that's true. So as I defend my single important stone,
Mark that with an A so we can all be in agreement that we're talking about the A stone. Letters are for groups and stones. Numbers are for areas.
So as I defend my A stone, my important stone, are there any weak groups or important stones of my opponent that I can bother?
Not quite. And I'm making a point of this because really the whole point of all the videos, get the process down. So what's the process? Now that I'm defending my A group, back to the top of the list, is there another black group, important group or stone that I could help?
Yeah.
No, we've already decided those 3 stones are completely unimportant.
Yeah.
Now that we're defending our A group, is there a white entity we'd like to bother? Yes. With that in mind, what's the move?
So I want to defend my A while bothering B.
Yes, not while helping your unimportant stones that you don't care about.
Yes. Okay. So I imagine you're referring to the Kasumi the other side.
Diagonal the other way.
Yeah.
That's not a small difference.
Yeah. 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 True.
Okay. Also for viewers, we're doing this with a diagonal, which stops white from connecting under. If we jump out, white can just connect under. So this stops the connection and bothers white. Now, I got to tell you, I've had students literally years later, they can't go through the basic list. And as you just found out, it's like, yeah, there's an actual list. Go back to the top, go through it again. It produces moves, as we just saw. To me, that's so important.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Control back again.
Yeah. There you go.
Now, we've done videos, pure list, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, back to the top, back to the top. It's a slow, boring process. But if you learn it, it trains the mind how to think. Since we're talking about it, going through the list properly is the kindergarten concept. Learning your ABCs. Now, let's jump up to college level. What a strong player actually does. He doesn't go, am I weak? How many Greek groups do I have? He doesn't do that. He says, oh, look at that stupid A stone. I want to hurt it. That is one characteristic that happens to be number 2 on the list that he knows nothing about. Oh, and my stone. That's the focus of this whole. I don't need to look at my open skirt. I don't need to look at anything else. On the list, you'd go through and check everything out. Train your mind. Make sure you see the whole board. Well, he's been seeing the whole board every time he breathes. He doesn't have to go back and remember. It's like, help B, hurt A, boom, done. It's like you don't even have to think about it once you know it. But the list puts you on that track so it becomes a habit. Okay, man, I can talk. That should be a jump, right? Faster. This is very slow, heavy
True.
move.
Yeah.
I'd honey. I'd sacrifice an extra stone, I think. I'm not sure.
Mm.
Okay. Next one, not Sente, right? Are you going to do it again? Oh, you didn't. Good, good, good. Okay. Black to play. Go through the list for me. Find the move.
Okay. So how many weak groups or important stones do I have? Well, the 3 stones on the bottom are clearly not important. They've become even less important now that white has that wall there. But my 4 stones are important, as they're keeping that white stone separate in a big area.
Would you be uncomfortable to ignore? Do you think you're weak here? If white plays next, you laugh in his face, or he's like, oh, I better defend those stones?
If white jumps up, then I feel like I have to consider at least jumping out.
Okay, so your stones are not particularly healthy. So step 1, you're going to defend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's next?
So as I defend my 4 stone group, is there another black group that would enjoy help? No, there's not. No. And as I defend my group, is there a white stone or an important group, or a weak white group or an important stone that I could bother? Well, yes, of course, the R10 stone.
Okay. So I asked you to go through the list only that we would acknowledge those 4 stones are actually weak.
Yeah.
Because most people go, they're not weak. White's weak. Then ignore. No, because I'll get hurt. And they're weak. Okay. Now, any attack on white is a good defense here. Because if white's weaker, right. So now let's go through, if you want to attack white, how do we do that?
Well, your definition of attacking is removing an option for health.
Okay.
And
which one would white prefer?
Well, usually if we can go to if we can go to the corner, we prefer that. We prefer the corner over the side over the center. White can't go to the corner. White can go to the side. Although actually looking at it, I would say it's not even a full option for health because
It's not even a full option.
yeah, so it's a half option.
Right. So this corner side center that we all love to mimic, not exactly true. Corner first, if it works.
Yeah.
Side second, if it works. Does white going to the side work? No
Yeah.
way, shape, or form.
And it's very small, very
So
narrow.
you took away the side, giving white the move he most wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to making sure white can't move to the left, we don't need to. The regular cap is sort of close to our thickness. We could think of going a little further, but any capping move, shoulder hit, anything is nice. Let's plop down a stone at N10. Ooh, N10.
You have control?
I cannot give you control. Oh, I can put it down though.
You have control, yeah.
Oh, what a pretty move. White living here is going to be a trick. And if we succeed in killing, this is a big kill. This one looks a little small. How about if we split the difference? Looks big. Death seems there. White is dead. One further. Looks like we might be a risk for killing. So I believe I would play here. And as we mentioned before, we're back in the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much to see.
Yeah.
Doesn't this move look so obvious? Like, of course, side next. No. Side next if it works, which it comes in. Ooh, tough one.
Again, I was happy when I saw this move because I feel like, okay, I can build up the outside. He just has to live.
Perfect, yeah. Because the outside is obviously what you want here. When I see this position, immediately I go, I'm going to consider my 4 A stones as forcing moves. I might end up handing them away and taking a huge center, because those 4 A stones are just 8 points. If I can use them, wonderful. I may well use them for the outside, but I also might give them up to take that center. I don't know if anyone else has that thought, but that's the thought I think of. You could Hana here, because he's so close to death.
And here I probably should have Tanuki'd, but I did not.
No, I don't want holes there.
Okay.
You could jump once if you wanted, because you're plenty strong enough.
Yeah, true.
And that just makes more sense. You jump to A, and there's no cuts of meaning, so you can do it. So do it. Yeah.
Even wouldn't the K16 stone feel a bit kind of over concentrated if I jump there, for example?
No. Does B make C feel over concentrated? No, it's just a natural, necessary. We're drawing lines. You could play here. He can't cut you with significance. You could play here. Is this going to work? You're really strong on the right? Whole thing's dead. Now, we're getting thinner and thinner, giving white more options. But you mentioned, how can we use that top stone a little more efficiently? And there are options. The jump is the most straightforward option, but there's more you can do. And you always have to make that choice. Tough.
I feel I
White's
made a mistake here as well. I feel like I should be playing from my P7 group, from those 4 stones, because they're potentially a little weak, but I left too big a gap between them and
Yeah.
tapping.
So we just asked about our A stones. If white comes up, do our A stones feel uncomfortable? Yeah. Okay, we'll be defending. So let's go back to this position. If we ignore, will our A stone wish? No, A stone's fine. He can't hurt us.
Mm.
We don't need to defend. What would we like to do? Now, I still haven't seen your move. Surround, thank you. What would that look like? Well, B, C, or D. I mean, those are the surrounding moves. B surrounds with defense. C's in the middle. D's like, oh, I'm stood. Yeah. So one of these come to mind. Let's see what you did. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Now, it does give white this opportunity, right?
Exactly, which I didn't.
Yeah. So you said, I don't need defense here. You can't get out. Well, looks like you were wrong. That's a bit far.
Exactly.
This one, yeah, you're stronger than he is. You'll win the fight. And this one, if you're like, no, I don't want to get weak here, then fine. Just keep, just chase with the knight's move. It'll all work out.
One thing, I'd be curious to know what you say about that, because the knight's move, we're touching the previous knight's move that you played from black, we're kind of using to confine white into our area, but we're also touching a weak stone, right? So ordinarily we would want to kind of hold back a bit and not play such an upfront move.
Right. There's some details there. Is that actually a weak stone? No, it's a weak group. The stone itself is pretty strong. There's that. There's also, sure, if the surround works, bigger, better. Does it? Well, sure. Really? I think so. There's, So this simply surrounds. So in this case, this is surrounding move. Here's the other surrounding move. Saying, you're not getting out. No way. Okay, that's fine too. But this one leaves a hole, and as white comes out, you're showing your weak group to him. Now that's a lot of details. But this is just a little thin.
Yeah. And I guess here we're kind of going for the kill, right? Because it's quite tricky to know how to use any influence that we might gain from that attack in order to build. I guess there is some potential building in the center, but I guess it makes sense here to go for the kill.
I hate to make that commitment. I'd rather say we're attacking severely. If he lives, we should get a fair amount for it.
Yeah.
In this position, you have some real thickness right here. This is very thick. I want to use that, so I'm going to either play A or B. I'm slicing through you because I can. I have the right to. And I need to be severe right now. That's what I would do. Your move was kind of soft, like, oh, please walk out. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Now, really, where's white going? I'm going over here. Really? Where? He can't get out, right? What about the other way? Where are you going as I defend myself? Oh, I'm going this way. Really? Where are you going? There's just nowhere to go. Your center stones are now perfect. So this might be okay because of all your backup. But that's, to me, that's more of a risk, saying, no, I can be soft here, and it's terrible for you. Okay. Boom, 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 I would not, okay. You have a gap. I'll just mark it so we all know what we're talking about. We have a gap here. Your move states, yep, I'm aware of that, and it doesn't bother me. Then why are you going back and fixing it?
Yeah. Because White
So-
could of course come out there before he played the.
Right.
Yeah.
So, this way, I just said I don't want you out. Then, no, Chase of the Knight's move, you can't get out. That's rational. This is like changing gears.
Yeah, which I've done so many times this game.
Yeah. And now, White says, I'm going to cut you. I'm going to cut that weak group. Oh, please go right ahead. So you're going opposite every move. He says one thing, and you say, go ahead. Then he tries something else. Oh, I better fix the first one. It's rather than the straightforward, he attacks, you defend. He tries to run, you stop him. Yeah.
And this
And
was
this
this was just a misread on me not seeing. Yeah, really
Isn't
embarrassing.
that amazing
Yeah.
how we play sometimes? I've done this more times than you've played Go. Just the
Yeah.
wrong move at the wrong time. Yeah. I have such memories of playing my first Go teacher, not having a clue what I was doing. Every move is wrong. I was forward on every single wrong. And once he punishes and he finally shows me how to react to his move, then when we get back to the game, he plays a different move, and that one kills me just as much as any. It's like, oh my God. Took me a while to get where, okay, my game is solid, and no one on the planet can hurt me. Oh, it took a while. That was fun. I've mentioned this to before, but it's such special to me. I'll just say it again. I've had 2 different 9-dans saying, oh, I can't give you 3 stones anymore. I was like, oh, wow. God, didn't make my day. It made I'm still talking about it 40 years later. That was meaningful to me. And then you come through, yeah, it's your only choice is to try to kill something here. Yeah. Okay, good.
Cool.
And
Thank you, Lance. That was very educational.
Yeah, we got a little detail, but that's what
Yeah,
the
no,
homework
it's
is
good.
about, is going through details.
Yeah.
And the homework's all about questions and discernments and what does George think about this, or what does Lance think about this? Lance is sure about this, but he's not really sure about that. It's all really meaningful. Okay, George.
Great. Thank you, Lance.
Thank you, viewers. We'll see you all later.
Yeah,
Bye.
see you soon. Bye-bye.